Hello, family. Hello, and welcome back to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm your girl, Kiki Soto, and this is the last Wellness Wednesday of the season. So, thank you all for being here. Come on in, come on in. I'm going to pull you guys up so I can see what's going on clearly in the chat. So excited for today's guest. My friend Rita is going to be here and she is going to help us out talking about all of our fitness goals, our health aspirations. So if that interests you, come on in, stay a while. Here in New York, Eastern Standard Time, it is lunchtime. So grab your meal, come down and chill with us for a little bit. And thank you for being here. So let's get started. Happy Wednesday to everyone. If you're catching the replay, thank you very much. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and share the video out. Share it out if you like what you see, like what you hear. And also, if you have not watched any of the Wellness Wednesday episodes this season at all, go ahead after you catch up, come back to this one and see what you're missing. And in a few weeks, I got something special planned for y'all. We're not just going to go out with just the final episode, okay? I got a few things planned for y'all. Hello, G Mama Grows. Thank you so much for being here. Miss Nisi, my lovely moderator. You are always here, always on time, and I greatly appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much. So y'all come on in and let's hit that thumbs up. I'm very excited about this guest because we haven't had a fitness expert on at all. We've had lots of gardening experts. We've had holistic experts. We had agricultural expert last week. Julia was amazing. If you did not see that video, go ahead and catch that interview because Julia was fire, y'all. Fire. Thank you. Beautiful fire. Thank you. You see, I'm doing something new. I wasn't going to say nothing, but I'm doing something new. Thank you so much. So let me just go ahead and pull y'all up. And so I met Rita years and years ago. I don't think either of us were on the same journey that we're on now. So this is going to be nice to have this conversation in front of everyone and for everyone to see where we are and for us to just compare notes at where we are in our lives now. Because when we first met, we were doing totally different things. And I'm excited to meet with her and chat. Let me pull up the chat here. I got to wear my glasses this time, y'all, because I had a hard time seeing. I did not have another device to read the comments on, so I was squinting, y'all. So I'm gonna stop fronting like I'm not getting, up in age a little bit and start wearing my specs, okay? Hello, Kenyatta's Journey. Thank you for coming in. Good morning. I appreciate you. Big Mama's Garden. Thank you for being here. And I think, I want to apologize in advance. They're doing some construction. So if you guys hear anything, my bad, y'all. We just gonna push through and we're gonna get this Wellness Wednesday started. All right, our guest is here. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I need to see some thumbs up in the chat. Some thumbs up. Come on, show me if y'all ready, because this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one, y'all. I'm waiting. Let me see them thumbs up. All right, y'all, we are going to get started. All right, I see it.
Oh. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me good? Can you see me good? Is everything good?
Yes. It took me a minute. I didn't even hear the intro because it took me a minute to figure out, the sign in and all that. So hi, everyone.
Hello. So we got a few people here already and more will be in because we are excited to see you. I know we've been supposed to be doing this for a while now, but life's been lifing, but it's okay. Because I feel like you are the most different guest that we've had. Because like I said, we've had herbal, we've had agricultural, we've had some mental health talk. We get to have our holistic wellness and fitness guru here.
So you had that because I think I kind of tie everything together in a way. Absolutely.
Okay. Look, I told y'all was gonna like Rita. Come on now. So first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to come on. I appreciate you. Just giving us a little bit of your time to share your expertise. So my first question, which I have for every guest, is what does wellness mean to you?
Okay, so wellness is, oh, you relate to this. It's like gardening or anything else. It's basically, to me, it's nurturing the inside and outside of like the environment of a person or, you know, organism, plant, whatever it is, to like help it improve and thrive. Because you need all those areas working well in order to thrive. You know what I mean? If your home life is on fire, you know, no matter if you're doing yoga or not, and your inside is at peace, we got to handle the home life, right?
That's right. Okay.
That's what it means to me. And it's something that's not like, it's not a journey you get to and stay. It's not like, it's a journey that you're continuing to work on. You know what I mean? It's not something that like ends like a destination as much as it's more of like being able to handle what life throws at you.
Right. Life is always life and things are always changing. There's always something. So thank you for that response. Tell us about your journey, about Body Fit Queen. I'm very like excited about this. I remember when we first met, and we used to have our little fitness chats because I was heavily into it. And I mean, this was years ago, though. I can't believe how fast time has gone by.
Yeah.
And you have like, wow, I've watched your journey. I've watched you with the weightlifting and now your business and your company and your kids involved. Tell us about Body Fit Queen LLC.
So Body Fit Queen is a virtual holistic and wellness, health and wellness organization. And we target individuals of the global majority, primarily moms, right? And my journey, I mean, I did so many things, you know, through life. I worked in mental illness. I worked in teaching for a period of time. And I think I'm always into fitness. I always did that like on the side. I always help people get ready for a wedding or get in shape for this. But it was more, I think becoming a parent kind of align my focus more. I combine everything. You know, it's almost like, once again, like with gardening or taking care of anything living, it's like you have to look at all these parts. And I was seeing how so many things affect my children, like what they watch, what they, you know, everything. You know, I made my own baby food. Like everything was just like, and that kind of turned me into like how this, like as much as I, you know, worked as a trainer for like 15, 20 years in different gyms, you could help people in the gym give a good workout. But now like my organization works on not just inside the gym, but outside, like what's going on. Because no matter how good a workout is, if your life is full of stress and you're eating horribly or you are in a DV situation, it's going to be hard to hit certain goals when part of you are not fully invested. You know, part of you is distracted or off. You know what I mean? So we want to basically lift all areas.
Definitely, like mentally, you have to be ready to go on with this journey. And that's why so many people like start and then stop and then start and then stop. It's
a journey, and you have to kind of give yourself that. Like, you know, it's okay to start and stop as long as you start again. And then a lot of times people think I'm going to be motivated throughout the whole journey. You're not. Not if you're in fitness or in whatever. You're not going to constantly be motivated every single day. Things are going to motivate you. But what keeps you on the path is just making these sustainable habits. If you don't have the habits, then when you have a bad day, it's going to be easy to go back to whatever gave you comfort, or you'll be like, I'm not going to work out today. And before you know it, it's 3 weeks in and I haven't worked out. You know what I mean? So it's just having those habits is what keep us on this journey. And that's kind of what we do. We kind of
I feel like you're talking about me right now.
But all of us. I mean, because even me, it's just having those habits. If I wasn't so strict on my habits and just making sure things get done each day, you know, it would be hard to juggle the business. And then I still have some clients in person, and then the mom life, and then just doing everything, you know. So definitely.
So as a mom and an entrepreneur and everything that you are, tell us how we find that balance. Tell us what helps you.
Schedule. You know, to be honest, it's like keep it simple. The schedule. Figure out Like for me, I have like a monthly goal and I break it down. So initially, my morning routine changes from in the summertime as opposed to in the winter and the fall.
Right.
This is a school season, right?
Yeah.
So generally, I wake up in the morning, and the morning is for myself. So honestly, I would suggest like if you have kids and they get up at 9 or they have to go to school, whatever time they have to get up, try to give yourself 2 hours before then to get the stuff you are non-negotiable out. So I get up early. I usually write down like being gratitude, like gratitude journal, or just being grateful for just being able to wake up and just having, you know, this life we have, the good and the bad, just being grateful for it. And then, you know, sticking to my schedule. I do like a 20-minute of like stretching and cardio. I get that in. And then it's just starting your day. Usually I get that in before I wake the kids up, because Monday and Wednesday, like today, they work out with me before they go off to their summer, you know, programs, track, whatever, but they work out with me. But generally I try to get the cardio and stuff in early, and the gratitude journal, make breakfast. I get all that done. And then while I'm taking a shower, they are getting dressed. Like I wake them up, the breakfast is there, you know, so it's just getting organized, you know, because we have so much things we're doing.
We do. And I think not having a schedule is what throws people off, because a lot of the times people, you know, they have the mental schedule.
Right.
They have the things that they want to do in their head. But when it doesn't get done, it's like, wow. Why? And because you weren't organized enough.
Right.
And so it's not as hard as it sounds. And you got kids, you got your businesses, but you make time for yourself. So tell us how important it is to be on a not, I can't say clean mental wavelength, but like
positive.
Yes, how to stay positive and making all these changes for someone who wants to lose weight or change their diet. Where do they have to be at to be finally ready to do it?
So it's just making that decision with everything. Because I mean, I work with people who've had like depression, and we've been able to wean them off their medication, or have high blood pressure, or, you know, we all have obstacles, right? That's what I consider it as. But it's making a decision that, you know what, I'm ready to get past the obstacle. And ready might look like different things, because we all start different places. Some people are ready to change their food, but they don't want to actually work out in a gym, and that's cool. So let's just call it movement. And I need you to move more than you've been moving. So move 3 days a week. Start walking. It's just starting somewhere so it could become a part of your schedule and a habit. If you go from not having that kind of schedule, I wake up at 10 and then I go, you know, eat this and I relax and then I go to work and then I come home. If that's your schedule, to change it now to be in the gym, 3 days a week and eat this and buy groceries don't usually buy, you're most likely not going to be successful, because most people, it's too much of an abrupt change.
Right. It's a lot at one time.
Right. It's first making a decision, saying this is what I want to do. Right. This is where I see myself. Right. Not putting pressure, knowing that it's a journey. So there is going to be days that you don't feel like it. But because it's a habit now, and because it's a part of your schedule, that's what we work on. We work on making it a part of your schedule, because then you'll be more successful. It's like work, right? You only take off work if your child is sick, or if you're sick. Like if it's an emergency, that's when you take off work. That's the same thing I tell my clients with taking off on themselves, because you're just as important. If you're not well, you can't go to work, right? So you have to make sure you're well. So it's a part of your schedule. We make it a part of your schedule. And then I check in. That's why it's virtual. I check in through the app or whatever. Be like, yo, did you do this? Because you have to kind of check off different things or communicate with me through it. And, it's usually like an honor system there where you're like, oh, shoot, but I'm going to get it in before the end of the day. Okay. The next time, let's try to we set this time and I work with you. Basically, this is what your schedule is. We do little things each week to kind of tweak it. And something, you don't have to have my schedule. If you're not a morning person, and don't get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. No, that's fine. But I know I get so much done, and I feel I have more energy in the morning, and I'm able to play with the kids and do this and be really invested, because I finished early. You know what I mean? So now I have all the mental focus to be like, oh, how was your day? How's that? How's this kid doing? How's your best friend? You get, you're not as bogged down with all the things you have to do, because you got yourself taken care of early. You know what I mean? So that's
how did you get the kids involved? Because I see your daughter, she be killing it, man. She is a definite little replica of you.
Better. Oh my God. She's better better version. So you know what it is? If you do anything, kids are always, they're like sponge. They're always watching it. You know what I mean? And they're always eager to jump in. And most of the time when you're cooking, no, that's hot. Don't touch that. No, that's this. From like really early, even when I was making that baby food, because I was a little bit extra when they were little, and I was very careful with everything, whatever they ate, everything, you know. So even
the same way.
Food, had them mashing up the bananas. I had them doing different things, playing with it, touching the food, because you know I see that with kids, once they're involved in it, then it's more easy to get it down. You know what I mean?
You know what they call that now? They call that baby-led weaning. Have you heard about that? That's what they call it now. But we was already doing it.
My youngest is 11, so I don't know. But even still, like that's why I incorporate my moms. Even with that's why I say I focus a lot on moms, because like even like I have a client with a 3-month-old, and we use it as part of the workout. That's a perfect way. Moms are always carrying around something, so why not turn it into a workout and not? So you don't think you have to set aside time to work out. Include them in it. That's a part of us bonding. My Monday and Wednesday, lots of stuff comes out. A lot of stuff, they'll talk about different things while they're, you know, what things stress them. You know, it's a way to make family time too. So just incorporating it all together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so this episode is not about gardening, but you are a little bit of a gardener, aren't you?
Baby steps. I actually wanted to film this outside, but it's like kind of like a cloudy day, so I don't want to like get caught, you know. But I did a little bit of the base. I mean, I would say the basic, because it was very easy stuff. I'm getting my foot wet, so it's like
what you got growing on. Tell us.
Mint and basil, all the like herb stuff. That's what I started with.
And how do you incorporate your herbs into your family's like diet and your wellness?
Well, that's easy. I mean, I say it's easy because it's been a while. Like it's little things over time. So, I'm always like, I grew up in a household. My mother didn't really believe, I want to say, in medication, and my grandma's like that too. It was always like, take this bush from over there and boil it and drink it. You got a headache, go use the bathroom. Like they just about Tylenol, whatever. And I kind of like definitely incorporate that. So a lot of times it's we put it in teas. My daughter loves tea. I'm not a big tea drinker, but I just drink it because I drink so much water. So I just throw in the herbs, but it's not really something like I love tea, but but there's a lot of benefits. So it's just, even with the food, starting little, and it's, you know, basically they try out different things. Yesterday was like eggplant. So we did like cutting up eggplant, and they helped me make it. And my son is not a big fan of eggplant, but I feel like because he made it, he's all of a sudden, this is great. This is the best eggplant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Recipe. But yesterday he was just like, this is the best. Like, right, because you made it. Yeah. Okay. Just get it down.
So right now you're into the herbs. Will you be expanding?
I would like to. I mean, it's the same thing like with our body, in the sense of learning what works and what doesn't work, you know. Yeah. And it's also like I'm trying to like get the soil really good. So a lot of like, especially like compost, I'm really big into that. I don't like to throw away stuff or anything like that. So it's just, you know, trying to.
Same here.
Starting.
Do you have a compost bin, or like how do you compost?
Oh, sorry. Do I have a compost? Say that again?
Do you have a compost bin? Like how do you compost where you are? Because you're in more of a like city area, right?
Yes, definitely. Well, my kids, because actually their school was teaching them how to compost and use like leftover vegetables and stuff that we weren't using or that went bad too quickly.
Really?
So we started off with that. So they're kind of expert on that one. So I can't even lie.
They brought it home to mama. Okay.
Right. So they actually put different things in the ground, just because basically giving back. If we are not using it, like I'm really big on getting a lot of vegetables in every meal. But sometimes when I'm on the go, it ends up being where I'm going to juice or whatever. So initially when I started this journey, I used to try to buy all these vegetables and all this stuff and try to juice it. But by the end of the week, it will go bad because it's like, it's only, right? Because the kids wasn't down with drinking it at first. So I kind of, initially that leftover vegetable that before it went bad, or fruits or whatever that, you know, we started putting back into the earth, and they started showing me how to help the soil. So right now it's little steps.
The best fertilizer you will ever have for your garden is everything that you just take out of your kitchen and put right into there. Something that I do is like, especially like during the winter time, what I'll do is I'll take like some old soil from old pots in the house, and I'll have like a 5-gallon bucket. And so I'll put like the soil on the bottom, and then I'll put a few layers of like scraps. You can use your eggshells. You can use the carton that the egg came in, not the styrofoam cartons, the compostable cartons. Break that up, and then do another layer of your veggies, and throw your coffee grinds in there because that'll get rid of the smell.
Right.
You can let that break down. Yep, and your Mama Grows says little steps make big moves. That's right.
Yeah, definitely. That's in everything. That's key. Yeah. So what else? So you're saying the egg carton? I don't eat eggs, but
I'm joking.
So it's like what material you're saying?
You
like
can use, well, for composting, you need nitrogen and you need your carbons. The nitrogen is the food scraps that you're putting in, but you don't want too much nitrogen. So you need like a 30-70 percentage, like 30%.
See, that's what I'm going
nitrogen, and then the other 70% you want it to be your carbon. So that would be like wood chips, or like I said, soil. Like if you want to just keep a bag of potting mix that you can keep adding, that's fine as well.
That's an accident, because I've been doing that, but I didn't know that's how you do it.
Toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, the paper towels themselves, as long as they don't have oil and stuff. Like I throw all of that in my compost. Cereal boxes, that's cardboard. Shred it, throw it in there. You'd be surprised. Like we barely even have garbage on Sundays. Between the recycling and the composting, it's so simple, so simple. And the coffee grinds is also nitrogen. So that's just something to remember. People dump that in. I don't know if you drink coffee. No?
No, I don't, but.
Okay. And then tea bags, stuff like that. There's so many things that you can compost.
Good.
Yeah. So many ways. And then we're helping the earth, and we're helping our bodies, and we're helping our soil. Like it's one big circle.
The environment, yes. One thing. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. I want to say hi to a couple of people that are coming in. We have Coffee Talk and Tech. Thank you so much for being here. We have Nature 9 and Family. Thank you for coming in. S and MJ's Garden. Thank you. Appreciate you guys for being here. So, what is the first step to acquiring the body that we desire? Do we start with exercise? Do we start with diet? How do we get there?
So everybody's at a different stage, right? Some people, it's like they got some of the food down packed, the nutrients down packed. And I would say nutrients because food is not necessarily, I don't want to say good and bad, but it's just better if we incorporate more whole foods from the earth. It's just better, right? So we're all on different journeys. So some people, initially, a lot of people need to include more water, if I want to say generally, because water is life. You know what I mean? And even if...
Amen.
Yeah, so it's like, that's something that is big that we need to include. I would say everybody needs to include water. But yeah, what we start at, I would say a mixture. Just start with some movement and maybe incorporate different vegetables or fruits in your meal. You know, start off light, you know, because I know sometimes when you're doing grocery shopping, it's like maybe buying a whole bag of vegetables isn't normal or comfortable for a lot of families. So maybe start off, and this week we're going to do carrots. And just incorporate carrots into the things you will already make. Just throw in some carrots in it. Start off light. I mean, you know, it's so much crazy. When you look at statistics and all that stuff, you know, we are, like there's 195 countries, and then we're like number 4 in cancer. Or if you look at like just people of color as a whole and all the things that we lead, and we're only 12% of our country, and yet we lead in all these stuff. So definitely I would say if we focus more on our diet and just making these just incorporate a little more.
Well, the American diet is known as the SAD diet, the Standard American Diet. Yes, that's the acronym for it. So that says a bit much right there. There seems to be this misconception that eating healthy is so expensive.
Oh,
And right,
yeah.
it's people would rather spend, and I can't even say that burgers are cheap because I was going to say they would spend $1 or $2 on a burger, but
Crazy.
now like everything is expensive now. So the same thing you would spend on a burger meal, you could go ahead and you could buy that salad. Or, if you wanted to go and buy some frozen chicken nuggets, you could probably buy a few bags of frozen veggies for that same price.
Right.
So your company, do you help people out with meal planning and how to make those subtle changes?
Definitely, definitely. That's why, I mean, our company is growing. So initially it started off with the fitness plan, the meal plan. I'm trying to get it to the point, I'm working to get it to the point where it's a collaboration of individuals who specialize in different areas. Like I'm not a specialist in growing things, right? I get the concept and I throw stuff in the ground and hope for the best. but,
Listen, it's been that time of year for all of us gardeners, so that's we're all throwing seeds and hopes and wishes into our garden this year. But that's a whole nother topic.
And then you talk life into it and you talk positivity and you try to keep all the negative thoughts like, why isn't it growing yet? Like it's the same thing. It's like, so that's why I'm trying to incorporate more of like you, for instance. I was talking to you before about, because you're such a, I want to say expert from just, doing what you do, what plants grow when, a lot more than me. I was always saying, come on in. I need you to talk to like, clients and us to do that, where you let them know if you can grow one item, that's less on your food bill.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It says healthy is expensive, but if you look at it, it's really not. It's really not expensive. Just different choices. Because actually, that pile of kale or whatever fills you up, as opposed to if you had French fries, and it's not the same calories. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're gonna lose weight automatically if you fill up more on vegetables and fruits than you fill up on vegetables.
It's a very, very important point. A lot of people don't drink enough water. And so from what I've read and also experienced, sometimes we get those feelings that we think we're hungry, but our body's really asking us to hydrate.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah. And so I think another thing that we need to do as a society as well, and I'm learning with gardening, is to eat by season. Like right now, I'm loving tomato season and cucumber season. Those are the veggies that aren't going to be, as expensive because it's that season.
Right.
But it's going to be a little more expensive to get some fresh lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers in the middle of winter, as opposed to getting some squash.
Right.
Or something like that, you know what I mean? So that's something very important as well. And I think that'll help us stay on track during this journey, because it's not just salads that we have to eat.
Right. And most of the time, salads isn't even that healthy, because a lot of people put on a ton of like dressing and other things. So you're adding in all this sugar. So honestly, when people are like, oh, I had a salad, it's not necessarily healthy. You were better off with or some squash. So definitely, that's what I'm saying. I want that holistic, where different individuals like yourself can educate people on that. Because the goal is that I don't feel like personal training or, it has to be forever. It's just I want the program to be where you come in, you get educated on these things, know how to read labels, maybe know how to grow your own food, and be able to teach other people, your habits, and you're graduating and you're like, okay, I could do this. So that's basically my thought process.
And so Body Fit Queen LLC, where do you get your clients? Like where do we have to live to be able to seek your help in our dieting and our exercise, or just in our everyday routines, just developing that mental toughness to get started?
Okay, so my in-person clients, I have in-person clients in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. But my virtual business, I have clients in Texas and California. So honestly, most of my clients, I've been a little bit spoiled, because most of my clients, because I spent 15, 18 years in the big box gyms, I had a lot of clients initially, especially post-COVID. A lot of people were like, what am I going to do it myself? When COVID hit. So, and it was just word of mouth. So I've been a little spoiled, because I haven't had to really depend so much on social media. That's why if you see my YouTube, I really need to get into this. It's really just word of mouth. So initially it's like, you can reach me on social media, you can reach me on YouTube, or you can email me. at bodyfit.queen@gmail. And, we basically have a nice discussion on where you are and where you see yourself and all the stuff that plays a part in your environment, all the things you may think are limiting factors, and then we go from there.
So tell us what your goals are with fitness, because you already look great, but you strike me as the type of person that likes to keep on pushing themselves and keep learning new things and growing wherever you can. So tell us what your goals are.
My goals are to continue loving fitness. So it's not physical. It's more just, this is my routine. It's my therapy. Almost like your gardening is my therapy. I do love trying different things. I spent years in boxing, and I spent another 7 years in CrossFit. Now I'm teaching the kids tennis. I go into different things often, so if something isn't stimulating, I do like to be humbled. So I love swimming and getting better at that. So just getting better as a person and just being able to expose my kids to different things. You know what I mean? So this year, right now, it's focusing on tennis and just keeping to my schedule. Yeah, I'm teaching the kids tennis. Not that I'm really great at tennis, but yeah, we're doing that every week. And it's just, it's simple. It's not like a body goal now. I'm vegan, and I eat a whole lot of carbs. So it's not about being lean or looking a certain way. I feel like I have gotten to a point I'm comfortable where I'm at. It's more of just continuing to develop and just becoming. That's why I talk about different areas of your life. So right now, the family part is really big to me because my kids are my son's going to be a teenager next week. So it's a big, I want to invest more, investing in yourself, invest in them. So the more I get better at things, all of a sudden, my daughter's interested in soccer because I was playing soccer a few years ago. My son's in track. It's the more I do different things better than myself, they see that and they start trying to do things, So it's just, I think it's helped me be better as a parent.
So you're vegan, and I'm assuming, does your whole family eat vegan? Everyone in the home?
So my family is vegetarian, I would say. Yeah. Or pescatarian, because the kids still have fish every now and then because the grandparents. So whenever they're there, they still have fish. They don't have the dairy. Right. They don't have the dairy in the meat. So they do have the fish.
So what made you make that change? And how has that helped you fitness-wise, health-wise? Have you seen any changes?
Or the part with the kids?
Becoming vegan.
I've been vegan since I was pregnant with my daughter. So 11, 12 years now.
You made the change while you were pregnant?
I made the change a little before I was pregnant. Actually, my husband ended up showing me this video, and it was oh my God, I didn't know how much was going on in that, just milk in the dairy industry, just a lot of things. Once you know more about it, it just becomes oh man, I can't put that. So initially,
you don't do milk here either, so I understand. Yeah.
Right. And initially I went halal, and I just was how they treated the animals. I went with that for a while. And then it's just I don't really eat a lot of meat anyway. So it wasn't necessarily, it was just I didn't really eat red meat. I didn't eat pork. It was mostly just fish and chicken. That's what I used to eat before. So it wasn't a hard switch. The hardest switch for me was the cheddar cheese, because I actually love much more than meat.
Always the cheese.
So that's the hardest switch. It wasn't so it was more personal. I felt better on it. Right. The kids, it's occasionally when they're with their grandparents, they may have fish. They may have a nugget here and there, because the grandparents don't feel the same, or they don't, believe the same. And I'm fine with it, because I'm about the kids making these decisions on their own.
Right.
It's not I'm forcing them to be vegan or pescatarian or anything. It's the
grandparents don't listen to us anyway.
No, they don't. And I'm okay with that. I'm just okay. This
not in a harmful way, but they like.
That's fine. Giving them anything like burgers and beef and stuff like that. Right. Sick at this point, because they haven't really had it in a long time. So that's the only reason they don't give them that. But yeah.
You went vegan. Did you see any physical changes in your body, like your skin, your hair, your nails, weight loss, anything?
My skin, definitely. Weight loss. Because initially I went vegan. I kind of went vegan, what you would say is the wrong way. I started just when you go out, I'm just going to have fries. So initially I gained weight because cutting out the meat, now to get full on other things. Meat is not super fattening if it's not fried or whatever. Meat is fine protein, right? So when I cut it out, I feel like I got a lot softer and I gained more weight initially. Until I started making better choices, because initially it was just like, I'm not gonna eat meat. And when you make that sudden decision, it's like, now what am I gonna eat? You know what I mean? I was educated on using herbs and different things to make my food flavorful. So it's like once you took out the meat and the cheese, it's like, okay.
Now what? Yeah.
Right. And so originally it was like I gained a few pounds, and then like a few months later I was pregnant with my daughter, so all the pounds came on. But over that time I learned, because I was really trying to continue to put a lot of good foods in, so I was eating a lot more vegetables and slow and steady.
Okay, so I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay, so I'm back and forth between like pescatarian, and then all of a sudden I want a steak. Like I just get those cravings for a steak.
Okay.
But my goal is, and we talked about this, I want my muscle back. I want to be lean again, and I'm starting to see like the changes, because I've been walking and stuff like that. Which you told me I had to go walking, so. I've been getting back to my walking.
Right.
For someone, especially women, we're so afraid of being like bulky and losing curves. What do you say we should eat, and how do we exercise without the fear of being overly muscular? Still having the physical curves.
Well, first we have to kind of work on like why we scared the muscles. Muscles and fat weigh the same, but they look so much different.
Yeah.
So like, what's wrong with muscles? And then most of the time, for us to get as big as we're visualizing isn't something that happens in a day or a week or a month of working out. So it's like, if you're taking pictures consistently, if you're going out, even social media, taking your selfies, you will see when you're getting to the point that maybe it's too much, but it's not going to be anytime soon. And it also first stays with being consistent long enough to even see anything. So initially the focus should be more on just like, these are just things that are non-negotiable in my schedule. And then you look up, almost like planting or pregnancy. You nurture this baby in your stomach, and then you look up 9-10 months, and it's like, wow, this is what I did. But you're not thinking day one looking at, when is the sonogram fit picture like every week? No, you're not stressing like every week, why didn't I already have this baby? You know what I mean? Right. We move so quickly, and we lose focus on enjoying the journey. So definitely in the beginning, I would say just staying loyal to your schedule or your habits, staying consistent, and then taking pictures. It's very
that point of view.
It's very hard for us. Yeah. It's hard for us to really be as big as we're thinking. You would have to be having a lot of protein powders, a lot of just like really being focused on your diet, because we don't naturally have that much testosterone. So we're not going to really bulk and be like, right away. You know what I mean? It takes, takes a few years too. So originally I would say women shouldn't even worry about that. Worry about just feeling good and making these habits. And then after a year, and you see where you're at, if you want to dial it.
We didn't lose you, but you are paused.
Oh, okay. But don't put that pressure on yourself.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it's almost like putting pressure on yourself that's not necessary right now. We don't have enough testosterone to really even get that far right away.
I want to say hi to Tay Eats. And Tay says there are thick vegans. I was a thick vegan.
And that's okay. Yeah, girl.
And my boy GT Jr. grows it. Alaska is here. That's my gardening brother growing in Alaska.
What?
He says, hello, Kiki and guests. Been listening while driving. Light weights with more reps. Oh, so is that how you say we stay lean? I don't mind muscles. I've always been very muscular up top, and like the broad back and muscle. So that doesn't bother me. I think the most complaint that I hear from women who are working out is that they think that they're going to be too bulky. So
right, and so don't be scared of the heavy weights. Because honestly, it's hard to say just light weights and a lot of reps, or heavy weights and little reps, because you kind of got to see where you're at and where you're trying to go. Because a lot of people, I have clients who are lean, already, but they're picturing, they think they're really overweight because they're comparing themselves to, years ago, or a picture or to somebody else, right? And
That's me.
technically, to get them where they need to be, they may need to lift heavy and lower reps to kind of see them. Some of them just want to see the muscle. It's not like they're upset with their size. You know what I mean? Others, like, yeah, the lightweight and a lot of reps will also lean you out. It's a mixture. And it's also what you like. I love heavy weights too, so it's a mixture.
Oh, I know you love heavyweights. I love when you post pictures. No, I've been really enjoying watching your pictures and your journey. And so do you still do competitions?
It's been a while. I had a competition during COVID, and it got canceled. So it's been a while. I haven't really been, I haven't scheduled any yet. So I'm not sure.
Tell us a little about the competitions you were doing.
I did some boxing ones I did years ago, a long time ago. And then CrossFit. There was a lot of like strongman competitions that we did. We competed against different gyms. We competed against it was a bunch of fun stuff.
So it was like your gym versus another gym?
Right, and I became out of state, Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun.
That is really cool. Okay, so
all this stuff it was never started off as my goal. The goal was like, oh, CrossFit came out. I was like, you know what? I love that. Let me try that. Let me do this. And it's just kind of built up 5 to 7 years later. I wake up and all these competitions. Same with boxing. Originally, it was just like, oh, I like hitting things. That's great therapy. Next year, fighting people in the ring. Like it just developed. That's why I'm saying my journey is not like I have this set image. It's more like, each year, if something sparks my interest, I want to try to master it. I want to try to get better at it, so. Yeah.
Okay. So what advice do you have for the full-time working mom who wants to do it all, but feels like, I'm talking about me. But feels like even though she went for that walk that day and she ate healthy that day and maybe the next day and the next 2 days and still not seeing the results, what advice do you have to keep that woman or person or man satisfied and motivated to keep going?
So, satisfied and motivated. Okay, so part of that is that's why I say my organization also works with a little bit of mental piece to it, because it's also getting yourself psyched up. It's also staying positive when it's not working. This is something like it's not just fitness, it's also just life. Like there's gonna be, you want this job or you want to make this much money, and right now you're not making it. I think how I see it is more like how almost like the secret of manifesting, not focusing on where you're at, right? Focusing on where you're going is the biggest thing. Because if you focus on where you're at, you're going to get more of where you're at, and you're going to eventually, tire yourself out and then go have that food that you've been telling yourself is not good for me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, that's why you need the accountability. That's why it's good to have somebody checking up on you, keeping you on track. You're talking to them initially in the beginning, because it's easy to look at where you're at and be like, oh, I'm not there yet, or I'm not this. And you have to remember it's a journey. And the first day, it's like you got to give yourself a pat in the back for starting. But knowing and being real, knowing that motivation isn't every day. You feel like doing this today. You feel like playing with the kids today. Sometimes you don't. You want to stay in bed all day. But it's like you have these things done. Just make it like a job. You have these things you have to get done. Ideally, you should make it fun. If you love walking, if you love running, if you love going shopping, go shopping and don't shop though. Don't spend the money. Go window shopping and walk around. But
walk around.
Make a certain amount of steps. The thing is to progressively get better and progressively overload. Basically, with your muscles or with anything else, if you want to see changes, progressively step it up. So if your thing is walking, next week, let's add an extra, 100 steps. If you're jumping rope, maybe you start off with 100 jumps a day, and the next week you go to 300. It's just like building on what you've been doing. So it's still slow and steady, and it's not overwhelming. I wouldn't say come in the first day when you just walking and do a full hour workout, so it's just building on it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because some people like me, like to just jump in and put like that pressure on themselves. And then when they can't do what they were able to do just a few years ago, it's like, all right, well, then I don't know. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? And then you lose that motivation.
Right. And a lot of times you're right there. Like it's like
Mhm.
like a hill. You're going up the hill and you're right there. And it's like, because you didn't see it today, now I'm gonna start taking steps back. That's why I say, look at it like long term. It's nothing really quick fix except your decision. Like that's a quick, like, okay, I'm doing this now.
Right.
Everything else is like slow and steady, you know. Once you make a decision, just make sure this thing move things out of your way so you can be more successful. If you know this is something that's in my way, that's slowing me down, you may have to push it to the side. But it's just slow and steady, because it's never, I wouldn't say it's ever easy.
Right.
It's
And
doable.
See Mama Grows, she made a good point earlier in the chat. She said that it's like when we plant them seeds in the garden, that fruit
Right.
ain't coming tomorrow. You know, we get started in April and we don't start reaping until May, June, July sometimes even later.
Where is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then and our society is like that. We're so used to it being quick that's why you really have to just enjoy each step. Be like, give yourself a pat on the back. That's why I do like, the good thing about the program is that we are breaking down where you're at, and you kind of could see, like, last week I did this, or last week I was eating this, or this was an issue for me. And then a month later, okay, so now you don't have an issue with like portion control. You don't have an issue with like having a lot of sweets, because sugar is another thing that can be difficult, very difficult to wean off. You know, if you're used to having Pepsi every day, that's it's a drug. You know what I mean? So it's like, but the steps. So if you used to have 3 and now you're only having 1, you got to pat yourself on the back. Yes, you don't have the 6-pack yet, right? But where were you before?
And even that is a win, and that's something to be proud of. Absolutely.
You have to give yourself the wins. You have to look at like months ago when you wasn't walking and where you're at now, and be like, okay, I'm closer to my goal.
Right.
Close. I'm not there yet, but I'm closer. Let me buy a nice dress that I want to fit into. Or let me get this out, put it in front of me. Let me just continue to peep these things in front of me and focus on where I'm going. And then before you know it, like with anything else, you look up and you're there. You know what I mean?
I got my outfit hanging in the closet, child.
Make sure you're seeing it every day.
It's there.
You know what you're working on. You don't feel like it, you know what you're working for. You know what I mean? Like,
So we have a few minutes left, and so anyone that is in the chat, if you have a question, please go ahead and leave your questions in the chat, and leave it in all caps so that I can see it, so that it doesn't get missed. Let's say
hands in the dirt. I like that.
Hey Stacy, I didn't even see you sneak in here. That's hands in the dirt. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. So if you guys have any questions for Rita, please go ahead and leave them in the chat. We have a few minutes left of this live stream because Miss Rita is a busy woman. Thank you very much for coming on. I know I said that already, but I appreciate you.
Of course. You're doing big things.
I do have a question though. So for someone who has, let's say, a little on the heavier side and the knees are an issue, what is the first step fitness-wise? What should they be doing first to get their body moving? Just to get into the habit without hurting themselves.
Well, it's to see, when is it hurting? Is it hurting while you're doing squats? Is it hurting while you're walking? It's just figuring out what the trigger is for your knee. But to continue, like, start off light. So if you, even like some people have like squatting with weights hurt their knees initially. So then first you got to look at the form, and then initially you start with not going so deep. You may just do like a half a squat and build up strength there, and see how much.
Does it matter what size you are if you're doing squats?
What size?
Some people put limits on themselves. You know, if they weigh a certain amount or they don't want to do certain things, they say, "Oh, I'll hurt myself. I won't be able to do it."
If you've been able to walk to the kitchen, or you're able to pick up something, then your body is used to your weight already, right? So
that's not an excuse.
You just have to see where the pain starts and go a level above that, and just start the workout where you're half squatting or whatever it is, or or if it's walking and your knees are hurting you, then you got to look at your shoes and see what it is, what's going on.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The shoes are very important. Also, I want to go back to the diet a little bit more, just a little bit, because we talked about, cutting out the sodas. But there's also sugars and a lot of the natural foods that we eat.
Right.
So let's say someone cuts out sodas, but now they're like, they still have that sweet tooth and they're constantly just eating lots of sugary fruits and stuff like that. How do they balance that out without overdoing it? Because you can overdo it on anything.
Right, but the good thing initially is to switch it up. So if you like, we don't want a lot of the artificial stuff.
Right.
It's if you can change your snacks from whatever, a Snickers bar to like bananas and apples with dark chocolate or whatever, but just changing up, making it a more nutritional snack, and that's a win. And then we go from there. Usually we keep a track of what you're eating for the day. You can kind of go back and see where you've been overindulgent. A lot of times you're keeping track of what you eat and what you put in your food. You were able to kind of like, okay, maybe it's a little too much, or maybe I'm leaning too strawberries, right? Or whatever it is. And it's also mixing it up. Too much of one thing isn't really great. If you're only having pineapples, you're having a ton of pineapples, switch it up. Maybe have a different fruit. So just initially you start off and seeing what changes you're making. So if you went from not having fruits and having more artificial sugars and you switch it up to fruits, now we'll look at like how much fruits are you having? And are you having any veggies? What else are you having? Because you want to have all the food groups.
Right.
You want to make sure you're getting protein in there. Right. So it's just kind of balance is the biggest thing.
Let's see. GT says don't sleep on the lemon water. Yes, encourage us to drink more water, because I don't think people really understand how important it is. My water, I throw everything in it. Sometimes I have berries in there.
I'm almost there.
See?
What is a big deal?
Berries. Sometimes I have lemons. Sometimes I throw a cinnamon stick in there just to give it a little, ginger, something. Some
people need it to have flavor. I hear it all the time where, and I don't like water because it doesn't taste like anything. So definitely. He is correct. If you add lemon, if you add cucumber, if you want to add berries, but if you want to have that slight taste, sure. And lemon is great for you, so it doesn't hurt. It's better than
what should we be drinking, or is that based on our weight, or?
Yeah, it is based on your weight. It can be half an ounce to an ounce, depending of water for a pound of your body weight. So if you weigh 150, you want to have the max about 150 in water.
Can you give us a little bit of motivation? Give us that push that we need. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. For those of you that are watching that are not in the chat, because I see those numbers and I see who's talking. For those of you that are watching and you're here because you want to make a change, Rita, can you please just give us a little push towards that step?
To make the change. Wow. Okay, so guys, life is short. Life is short, and whatever you see and want, you can have it. Like whatever you see and want and visualize, you can have it. So it's like if you really are like, I'm tired of where I'm at. I'm tired of my arms, my legs. I'm tired of my health. I'm tired of taking medication. When you're really tired and you're feeling it and you're emotional, and like when you're really tired, understand that like you can be where you want to be. All it takes is you. It's you just saying, yo, today's the last day I'm gonna feel like this. Today's the last day I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm going to get to the next level. I'm gonna be where I'm seeing myself. Because we all have that image of ourselves. And we can all be better. So it's just let's go. That's it. It's just life's short, let's go.
Just do it. Just make the change.
And if you need the support, definitely you can reach out to me, or if you have a friend, you can reach out. But make sure it's somebody that no matter if they show up or not, you're going to show up for yourself.
That part.
Having it be friends is that friends can cancel on you. And sometimes if you are dependent on them, you may not be successful. You have to make sure you're ready to depend on you. If you're not ready to depend on you yet, then yes, reach out to somebody else who will call you every day and be like, yo, you promised yourself you're going to get your goal. So let's get there.
You promised yourself.
Toward any goal, you will eventually get there if you don't give up. We know this. So why are you not consistent for yourself?
Mm-hmm. Woo, okay, all right. I feel like we got motivated and we got put on blast just now, y'all. Yes, because I know a lot, especially like as parents, we all have that. We go all out for everybody. We'll go all out for our neighbors. We'll go all out for our kids. We'll go all out for somebody at the grocery store. But when it comes to us, we'll make an excuse not to do that thing that we really need to be doing for ourselves, because we'll find something else that is more important.
Treat yourself like you treat your kids. Show the same love for yourself as you would for your children. If your child, pretend your daughter is going through exactly what you're going through, what would you tell her? You know what I mean? Would you say, oh, put yourself off and take care of me? No. You would say, Mom, you would tell the daughter, like, yo, you're not feeling good, or you're not happy where you're at. I want the best for you. You know what I mean? So let's go. This is the best. You know what you need to do.
Yep.
Just put it in your schedule, get it done. Girl. Yeah, we're gonna be in contact.
I feel like I needed to be yelled at a little bit. So Rita, tell us where we can find you if we need your assistance. How do we contact you? I do have some links in the description box of this video, but just tell us where else we can find you.
So I'm at Body Fit Queen on Instagram. I also have my email address, and I have my website. So bodyfitqueen.com. Yeah, reach out. I'm always here to talk and help you push you the way you want to be, or just talk about it. I mean, a lot of it is just, us taking care of ourselves improves so many things for other people too. Our families, it could only get better from here, right?
And we set better examples for our families when we start with ourselves.
And kids listen to what you do, not what you do, especially as they get older.
Jeremy's mom had a saying she used to say when people used to try to tell her, oh, you need to stop doing this or do this. Doctor, heal thyself. That's what she would always say. And that has always stuck with me. It's like, how am I going to tell my kids that they need to, clean up and I didn't make my bed this morning? Or, you know what I mean? Any little thing like that. Drink more water, but I'm sitting here with a beer or something like that. A wine cooler, a glass of wine or something like that. They have to see it. And, they say we tell people our kids do as I say, not as I do, but that don't work. That don't work.
They grow up
and work for me.
And they'll be exactly like you. You'll realize the same habits they'll pick up. That's what scares me too. I'm like, you know what? I want to make sure they pick up good habits, because it's not what I'm saying. So I try to treat people well. I try to be upfront because I want them to pick up those habits. You know what I mean? So it's just put that in your head, like I'm modeling for them. So who's the woman you want your daughter to be? And then just kind of like, will she accept a relationship? Should she accept a relationship that's treating her horribly? Should she accept this? Well, why are you accepting it? Accept, my health is deteriorating. So then why are you, like, it's kind of the same thing. If we take care of our children, it's not put the light on yourself, We
have to take care of ourselves so we can be around for our families too.
Definitely.
Because they growing up, they still in their youth, but we're not. We're getting a little bit up there, So Rita, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you. I was so nervous and it was so much fun.
It went by so fast, right? It always goes by so fast. And thank you for coming on. You left us with a lot of good gems, and hopefully we will see you again soon.
Come on. As long as you invite me, I'm here.
Let's do this. And y'all, Rita's going to help me. We're going to do this. So I'm going to be the example when I come back in a few months, and you guys are going to see a new me, because I'm ready to do this with you, Rita.
Okay. It's everybody, so no backing out now.
I didn't tell the whole world, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I've been walking. You see? I'm getting so better. I knew you was coming, so I had to bring it too. Thank you so much for being here, Rita. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you guys follow Rita on Instagram, Body Fit Queen. The link is in the description box. Check out bodyfitqueen.com. The link is also in the description box. And yeah, we will be seeing you soon. Thank you so much, Rita.
Bye. Thanks.
What do you guys think? Wasn't that awesome? I can't believe that of all the Wellness Wednesdays, we have not had someone here to motivate us to get up and get moving. Yeah, we're in the garden, we're growing our vegetables, and gardening is a lot of work. But sometimes we need to be doing just a little bit more, especially those of us who are in the cooler seasons like I am. We're not going to be out there, raking and throwing soil and all. in about 2 or 3 months, it's going to be freezing cold. Everything's going to be gone. And then what? I still want to be healthy. Don't you? I want to thank Rita for that motivation. I greatly appreciate you being here. I want to say thank you, GT. Thank you for noticing. I'm not going to read your comment out loud. This was just an impulse, something I did literally this morning. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Trying something new, out with the old and with the new. I want to thank G Mama for being here. GT, thank you so much for being here. I saw, let me see. I saw Joe, right? Garden State Gardener. Thank you so much. I see you. Go Kiki, go Kiki. Thank you so much for coming through. Jabba Bruce Love TV, thank you. Sunday Backyard Farmer, thank you so much for coming in. I always appreciate y'all support. This is the last episode of Wellness Wednesdays for this season, but I do have a surprise coming in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be hot. It's going to be fire. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Pow, pow. Thank you so much for coming in. And if I missed anyone, I apologize, but I appreciate all of you. So we are at the 1 hour mark, and I'm not going to keep y'all. We all got things to do. It's Wednesday, it's hump day, and I know we all trying to get over it. So as always, y'all, learn with me, grow with me. I love y'all for real. Bye.